Good morning, Uganda. It's a Friday. Finally, the week has come to the end, but hopefully it's one that you celebrate with achievement and lessons learned, as opposed to have gone it through without any result or lesson to push through into the weekend as well as the start of the other week. But good morning. It's a Friday, and of course, as the team, we're here to make sure that we officially launch you into your weekend, and of course, keeping the vision inspiring Uganda here on UBC TV, where we come to you live from Nile Avenue. Now, looking at some of the updates that we have for you, we do have Nigerian schools that have cancelled mother tongue teaching in primary schools and reverting to English. The Nigerian government has announced it's cancelling a controversial policy that mandated the use of indigenous languages for teaching in the earliest years of schooling instead of using indigenous languages for teaching in the earliest years of schooling as opposed to using English. Education Minister Tunji Alosa said the program introduced just 3 years ago had failed to deliver and was being scrapped with immediate effect. Keep in mind that Ghana, of recent, Ghana scrapped off the use of English in the early stages of their education program. And in Uganda, it's one that's also already taking shape, where early learning is 4 local dialects, and then thereafter, midway primary school, English takes over. Now, that's a conversation I would want to engage my colleagues on, but before that, some 200 Kenyans are fighting for Russia in its war against Ukraine, and more could be recruited into the conflict, authorities have stated. Among them are former members of Kenya's security forces, and according to Kenya's Foreign Affairs Minister, Musalia Mudavadi, some of those who have been rescued said they were forced to assemble drones and handle chemicals without proper training or protective gear, the minister added. Kenyan President William Ruto last week requested the Ukrainian government to secure the release of Kenyans currently held in the conflict zone. And finally, in the updates, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has downplayed threats of war issued by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni over access to the port of Mombasa and the Indian Ocean, insisting that Ugandan leader is well aware of international territorial laws. But experts warn that his remarks, including a claim that he owns the Indian Ocean through Kenyan transit, risk straining bilateral relations and the cohesion of the East African community. Now, on the entertainment side of things, recently Burna Boy was performing at one of his concerts, and it so happened that right at the front row, there were some of his fans that were, well, a gentleman with his girlfriend, but his girlfriend was sleeping, and Burna Boy paused his performance and told the man to take his girlfriend home because he can't perform while someone is sleeping in his audience. Now, these are two issues that for me, I would love to invite my friends here to speak into, but allow me introduce the team. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono and Joan Murunji. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning, Julie.
Lady in green.
How are you? Yes.
Very well, thank you.
I wanted to appear a little bit brighter than Robert expects me.
And you're already bright anyway in text,
Really?
in tones.
He's not told me anything like that before.
Robert, good morning.
What's wrong with you?
How are you, Julie?
Well, thank you. Now, I'll leave the two of you off camera when we get off camera to complete your business, but let's speak into these matters, two matters shortly. Let's start off with Nigeria making a decision to cancel the use of mother tongue language in the early years of primary school. I'll start with Joan.
Mother tongue language?
Yes. To them, they say it. They started using these 3 years ago, and thus far it has not provided or proved any results.
Okay. I think it all depends on the vision of the country. Are they going to be locally grounded, or they hope to also have international relations, or to keep on going with the diplomatic relations with other countries? Because when you look at most of the languages that are widely used in the world, there is French, there is English, maybe, okay, Spanish, and for Africa, rather East Africa, I could say Swahili. So if you are banning the use of local languages, students might be deprived of deeply getting assimilated into their cultures and the context and knowing the values of knowing local language. Yeah.
Robert, what's your take?
Well, I think it's a way to go. You see, every day the world is becoming a global village. Every day. And you need people who are very fluent in the languages most used. Now, in Uganda, I have a system called systematic learning, where in lower classes, these children are taught in their mother tongue or the language that's most commonly used in that region. By the end of the day, then when they go to P4, you're exposing them to English. So when we look at the future of the world, these local languages, people will learn them at home. Because there's one thing I noticed. There's one thing I noticed, that when a child is still young, they have the ability to adapt to so many languages. I've seen this in my home. I'm in a community where most of my neighbors are Congolese. I have a 3-year, I have a 7-year. But one time I was in a supermarket, and my 7-year met these Congolese and they were speaking. So the husband was looking for something. And my son replied in Congolese very well because he speaks very good Lingala. Now he replied and told him, no, it is here, it is there. They were excited. They thought I'm one. You know, they took him around, and now we are family friends with that family. Of course, the communicator there is him, not us. Somehow the children come around, but of course. Now, I learned he can speak Luganda, okay, fairly. He can speak his English. He speaks his Lingala very well, you know, whatever that language is. So, at home or in communities, children can adopt. I know of a family there in Italy, but the mother is a Ugandan and the father is a Ugandan. And at school, they'll speak the language. At home, these parents made it intentional. The only problem we are facing now is that the parents don't want their children to speak their mother tongue. But if you're doing Murungi, then you have, you get married to someone, Rugendo or whatever. You know, at home you make it a point that you speak your local language between the
but you see, the reality of that also is now, with our parents' era, it was easy to help us speak our local dialects. Because for them, in one way or the other, they were exposed to their local dialects a lot more than English. English was the rare and their local dialects were. But now you look at a generation where in school, English was a must, and you were being punished for speaking local dialects, right? And it so happens that that generation, we've been raised to speak English throughout with every relationship we make, in that even the spouses we meet, because we meet them outside of our homes, we are speaking English. Even when you are Muganda, Mamuganda, you're Mnyankore, Mnyankore, for some reason we are speaking English because of the places where we meet. That means in one way or the other, by default, our language of communication, will be English. And it's just by default, it's now second nature, that it will be now hard to sort of get into the nature of all the time being it takes a lot of intentionality
to think about
to speak that your local dialect at home so that your children pick it.
So something that is so funny.
Right. Anyways, we would love to know your views as well. 0709602592. Do share what you think about this. But also quickly, in just 2 minutes, Burna Boy chased his fans out because they were sleeping. These people paid money, obviously. They bought tickets, obviously. That money is going to him, right? And he chased them out. How could they sleep whilst he's performing? In my view, I thought that was self-worship. Because, I mean, if your performance is boring, duh.
Why don't I sleep?
You know, I think
I paid to be entertained. You're boring, I'm dozing.
But then also, anyway, the one who was sleeping was the girlfriend to this other person. The fact that it was a girlfriend, you don't know if she's pregnant, you do not know if she's tired, if she's having hormonal issues, because female bodies, a lot happens in there. Even menses alone could flip you. And you find yourself dozing for the most part of the day, even when you've slept enough.
But I think it also depends on what time was she's dozing off at the event, because we have curtain raisers in the entertainment industry.
Right.
So was the boring coming from the curtain raisers? Was it from the main artist, or it was health reasons, or it was just boring?
No,
I think
I've
he was
ever
very
slept
entitled
in
at
some
that.
You
performance.
felt so entitled.
Yes.
I've
But
ever-
then why would you come to my show and you begin dosing?
Let me give
But
you
I
an
paid my
example.
money though.
Please, if
No,
you
Joan.
dose,
I paid
my
go home
money.
and sleep.
Joan,
Do not come and
I've
pay.
ever been taken. I remember I was at campus, and of course there's a Joan character. Now, this person told me they enjoy jazz.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Now, of course, you did not
Doing
enjoy
something
jazz,
different by then, but
Right.
now I enjoy jazz.
which I
So they
do.
take me for jazz. It was very expensive, by the way. I don't know why jazz concerts are very expensive.
Of course, it's classical
I
music.
paid a lot of
Classical
money. Now
music.
they begin
they
along
begin.
the way. I ended up. and
Anyways,
the music is boring. I don't understand it.
right.
You
I have
do
the
not
right to
have
doze.
any reason to come to a person's show and you begin dozing. If you
No,
feel
no,
you
no,
might
no.
get bored, please
But I
remain
paid
home.
my money.
Did you pay to see me
It is
not
you to
doze?
entertain me.
You
Make sure I
cannot-
don't doze.
And dozing is natural. It's part
No,
of
no, no.
nature.
You
So
cannot bring down my spirit of performance by looking at someone dozing. Please remain
but
home.
then also,
Make sure I don't doze.
But also, why did
Yes.
the artist focus on one human being in the
Out
midst
of
of
it.
a sea?
Make,
Let's have a
make
look at
sure
what we
I
have on
don't
the local
doze.
scene.
I've gone to campaigns. I'm in Budaka now.
You're not impressed.
I'm in
by
Budaka. Let me go to Budaka, then I'll go to another area as well. There I am already in Budaka. The NRM presidential candidate, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on Thursday, that was yesterday, presented his manifesto outlining his plans for the residents of Budaka district as he seeks another mandate in the country's highest office. He pledged to substitute rice growing in swamps and wetlands across Bukedia sub-region with fish farming, which he said would generate higher income for the residents. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also accompanied by first daughter Natasha Karugire Museveni, campaigned in Kibuku district, where he emphasized the need to embrace wealth creation and private job generation as key strategies to ease the government's employment burden arising from Uganda's growing population. In Mitoma, before heading to Ankole, Kyagulanyi held a press conference in Rukunjiri where he spent the night with the supporters. Security attempted to disperse them but reportedly failed. Kyagulanyi condemned what he called the continued interference by security agencies in his campaign activities, saying they are blocking him from freely engaging with Ugandans. He laughed off a statement made by the Deputy Army spokesperson, who said voters should leave polling stations after casting their vote, inciting and citing the elections are mandated and managed by the Electoral Commission and not police, neither the army. Kyagulanyi continued his journey to Mitoma, Lubirizi and Bushenyi, where he was received by cheering supporters who accompanied him during his rallies. During his campaign, Kyagulanyi met Nasa Kapo, a man who was shot 12 years ago and has since been bedridden. Nasa wished Kyagulanyi's success in his presidential race. Kyagulanyi urged the people of Ankole to vote for change, saying that under his leadership, Ugandans will benefit from fair prices for their agricultural products, free education, better health care, and improved roads and railway transport. He called on Ugandans from all religions and regions to unite as one to build what he termed as a new Uganda, where every citizen can live with dignity and equal opportunity. Now, the National Water and Sewerage Corporation is seeking to recover over 105 billion Uganda shillings in areas owned by government ministries, departments, and agencies. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has committed to paying off a debt and has released 81 billion shillings. The Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources was concerned on the compliance of MDAs to put into use the released finances and not paying the money. That's why they were concerned. The committee invited several debtors, including heads of government hospitals, to explain themselves. However, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development admitted to receiving 410 million shillings but has not paid the 363 million shilling debt National Water and Sewerage Corporation, the ministry responsible was deemed to be unsatisfactory of the explanation. The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs tops the list of daters with 27 billion shillings, followed by Uganda Police Force with 24 billion shillings. Neither has shown up for the meeting despite the Ministry of Finance's comment. Stakeholders still are not responding. And finally, from the local scene, the head of State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, has warned Uganda Revenue Authority and the other government MDAs against participating or practices that frustrate both local and foreign investors contributing to the country's economy. The warning comes after a local investor raised concern to a URA commissioner regarding his electronic bicycles being held at customs due to classification issues under motorcycles. This discussion took place during a courtesy visit by the representative of the Kingdom of Netherlands to the Investors Protection Unit in Kampala. Earlier this year, President Kaguta Museveni warned that investors are being frustrated by some officials. Despite this directive, URA has faced criticism from stakeholders for various bureaucratic challenges that hinder investment. Colonel Edith Nakalema emphasized that URA and other public institutions must not engage in bureaucratic practices that delay development in the country. She further commended the Kingdom of Netherlands and Dutch-supported local investors under the Netherlands-Uganda Trade and Investment Platform for their significant role in boosting Uganda's economy, particularly through agribusiness. Well, that brings us to the end of our local stories. Let's look at what Joanne has for us regarding the rest of the world.
And what is happening at the global scene? The BBC has apologized to Trump over the Panorama edit, but refuses to pay compensation. Now, after the apology to the U.S. President Donald Trump for the Panorama episode, this that had spliced parts of his 6th January 2021 speech together, but rejected his demands for compensation. The corporation said the edit had given the mistaken impression that President Trump had made a direct call for violent action, and said it would not show the show 2024 program again. Lawyers for Trump have threatened to sue the BBC for 1 billion shillings, for 1 billion US dollars in damages unless the corporation issues are retracted, apologized and compensated him. The fallout from the scandal led to the resignations of BBC Director General Tim Davie and Head of News Deborah Tanis on Sunday. BBC News has approached the White House for comment. The apology comes hours after a second similarly edited clip broadcast on Newsnight in 2022 was revealed by the Daily Telegraph. In its corrections and clarifications section, published on Thursday evening, the BBC said the Panorama program had been reviewed after criticism of how Trump's speech had been edited. We accept that our edit unintentionally created the impression that we were showing a single continuous section of the speech rather than experts from different points in the speech, and that this gave the mistaken impression that President Trump had made a direct call for violent action, the statement said. And now moving on to another international story. Titanic passengers' watch expected to fetch over 1 million euros. Now, a gold pocket watch recovered from the body of one of the richest passengers on the Titanic is expected to fetch 1 million euros at an auction. Isidor Strauss and his wife Aida were among the more than 1,500 people who died when the vessel traveling from Southampton to New York sank after hitting an iceberg on 14th April 1912. His body was recovered from the Atlantic days after the disaster, and among his possessions was an 18-karat gold Jules Jorgensen pocket watch that will go under the hammer on 22nd November. Auctioneer Andrew Aldridge of Henry Aldridge and Son in Wiltshire told BBC Radio Wiltshire, "With the watch, we are retelling Isidore's story. It's a phenomenal piece of memorabilia." Mr. Strauss was a Bavaria-born American businessman, politician, and co-owner of Mackay's department store in New York. They were a very famous New York couple, said Mr. Aldridge. Everyone would know them from the end of James Cameron's Titanic movie, when there is an elderly couple hugging as the ship is sinking. That's Isidore and Ida. On the night of the sinking, it is believed his devoted wife refused a place in a lifeboat as she did not want to leave her husband and said she would rather die by his side. Ida's body was never found. And then to our neighbors in South Sudan, we are back to the continent of Africa. Now, South Sudanese leader Salva Kiir has, in a shock move, dismissed one of his vice presidents, Benjamin Belmel, who had been tipped as his possible successor. Kiir stripped Belmel of his military rank of general and dismissed him from the National Security Service. He also sacked the central bank governor and the head of the Revenue Authority, both considered close allies of Belmel. No explanation was given for the dismissals, which were announced in a decree broadcast on state television. Now, this comes when there are growing fears of political instability and a possible return to civil war after the recent collapse of a fragile power-sharing agreement between Kiir and opposition leader Riek Machar. Belmel, 47, showed no animosity in his response to the sacking. "I extend my deepest gratitude to you for granting me the privilege to serve the people of South Sudan as Vice President," he wrote in a letter to Kiir. "I have full confidence that South Sudan and the SPLM, which is the governing party there, will continue to rise under your stewardship." Belmel was only appointed Vice President in February, replacing James Wani Aiga, a veteran politician and general. Now, that was it from the global sphere.
Right, thank you very much, Joan. Well, that story of the Titanic has been my highlight from the stories that you've read, given that that watch had 18 carats at that time. I think for me it was speaking more into the fact that as years go by, things become cheaper, because 18 carats was quite a lot at that time.
Yeah, 1912.
Yes, 1912. So when you talked about the 18, I started counting the carats on each of my rings.
Please,
wow.
Please, you leave. Please save us. You don't really have to point it out.
There are more than the 18.
Yeah, it's okay. How many carats?
Just saying that things become cheaper as years go by.
Do you have any carats on your fingers?
Julie wants to join a group of certain people.
I'm just saying. 18 carats in 1912 was huge. Right now, people have rings and jewelry that has more than 18,
and it's less than what they are.
Yes, and it's less. Yes, but although that auction it's money. I mean, it's the Titanic, so. It has that's a brand. That is a brand.
My ring,
let me focus.
My ring, Julie.
Yeah, on my rings. They do have carats.
It's high time that we do something.
No, not that. It's just showing you that all of life is sinking sand and everything fades as years go by. That's the reality of life. Let's have a look at what we have on with the dailies today, starting with the New Vision, obviously. The New Vision has kidney care. Uganda makes breakthrough. Yes, patients get 90% cheaper dialysis procedure. That's good news. That's good news. And looking at the picture there, Museveni holds rallies in Budaka and Chibuku. Also in their Faith Matters Faith, Dr. Paula White ignites leadership conference, and Matters Education schools ordered to hire procurement officers. This is very important. I do agree. You can't run a school on ghetto affairs. Now, Brian White, wife charged with human sacrifice.
Wow.
That is what the devil does.
Really?
That's what the devil does.
We would love to hear what Robert has to say as to what he holds into this story, but that will be when time allows us. 5 pages of MP's district campaigns roundup. And in the beat, we do have when artists crowd the political podium for pay. Also elections, down below there, elections, Kyagulanyi Muntu Mafabi on the campaign trail. Now let's have a look at what we have in the Daily Monitor. Bishops fix schools crisis, hospital wars. That's a headline in the day. Oh, that's a Daily Nation, pardon me. Pardon me, that's the Daily Nation. Let's indeed continue with what the Daily Nation has. Bishops fix schools crisis, hospital wars. And clerics warn faith-based health facilities may shut down due to NHIF debts. In there, in the Daily Nation, is another story on, there is national news there. Mama Ida takes first short break since Raila's death. And ESCC Kenya needs 200,000 more police officers. Now, let's have a quick look at what we do have in the Citizen. The Citizen does have a story on Nchemba, my stance as new Prime Minister. Newly appointed Prime Minister Mwigulu Nchemba yesterday put corrupt, negligent and lazy public servants on notice, warning that such individuals will have no place under his leadership. Also, the other story to look into, Tanzanian clergyman Joe Davi, appointed UN PAF ambassador for East African region. And looking at some football, Simba Yanga ranked among top 10 clubs in Africa. Mwinyi pledges efficiency as he names cabinet. Also, bus operators count losses after passenger numbers plummet post-election day chaos. Now, in the Gazette, as of the 14th day of November 2025, we do have notices to recognize there to all to whom these presents may come. Greetings. Be it known that on the 24th day of October 2025, Odiek Samuel, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked. This is under the hand of the Chief Justice Alfonso Chigamoy Owiny-Dolo as of the 24th day of October 2025. Also be it known that on the 24th day of October 2025, John Tibbs Akanyamuhanga, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of CJ Alfonso Chigamoy Owiny-Dolo as of the 24th day of October 2025. And also be it known that on the 24th day of October 2025, Victoria Nakaibare Luanga, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as she continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the Chief Justice Alfonso Chigamoy Owiny-Dolo as of the 24th day of October 2025. Now, it's a Friday, and that brings us to the end of what we have in the dailies today. But today being a Friday, we have lots of interesting content for you. We do have a conversation on Christian comedy. We also do have a conversation on the High People Awards.
Wow, interesting. I can't wait to have a look at that. High People Awards, are you going?
You are just
like you're not satisfied.
Are you paying attention, Robert? Or
it's just like, are you going for the awards?
Okay, your response seems like you're in
He's
a
not
nothing box.
Thank you. I'm very smart.
You're scared of Luseki?
No one is asking if I'm going, so that she pays for
I tag along, eh?
Oh, wow.
Luseki. I'm very smart.
Anyways, let's enjoy some music. Good Idea is the name of the song. And when we get back, of course, more of that. Now, just save the number 0709602592. Would love to hear from you as you engage on the show. And definitely
Short People's Awards.
You want to know People's Awards?
Short People's Awards.
Short, why do you put your, anyways, it's okay. After all, you're body shaming yourself. Let's have a short
I'm just
break.
asking.
Oh, you're proud.
Not segregation. You should.
No, it's okay, but you do not have to air it out loud before anyone takes notice.
Okay, organize
You
them.
organize them and win them.
Let's have a short break.
No, I can't do that.
Good morning, Uganda. It's a Friday. Finally, the week has come to the end, but hopefully it's one that you celebrate with achievement and lessons learned, as opposed to have gone it through without any result or lesson to push through into the weekend as well as the start of the other week. But good morning. It's a Friday, and of course, as the team, we're here to make sure that we officially launch you into your weekend, and of course, keeping the vision inspiring Uganda here on UBC TV, where we come to you live from Nile Avenue. Now, looking at some of the updates that we have for you, we do have Nigerian schools that have cancelled mother tongue teaching in primary schools and reverting to English. The Nigerian government has announced it's cancelling a controversial policy that mandated the use of indigenous languages for teaching in the earliest years of schooling instead of using indigenous languages for teaching in the earliest years of schooling as opposed to using English. Education Minister Tunji Alosa said the program introduced just 3 years ago had failed to deliver and was being scrapped with immediate effect. Keep in mind that Ghana, of recent, Ghana scrapped off the use of English in the early stages of their education program. And in Uganda, it's one that's also already taking shape, where early learning is 4 local dialects, and then thereafter, midway primary school, English takes over. Now, that's a conversation I would want to engage my colleagues on, but before that, some 200 Kenyans are fighting for Russia in its war against Ukraine, and more could be recruited into the conflict, authorities have stated. Among them are former members of Kenya's security forces, and according to Kenya's Foreign Affairs Minister, Musalia Mudavadi, some of those who have been rescued said they were forced to assemble drones and handle chemicals without proper training or protective gear, the minister added. Kenyan President William Ruto last week requested the Ukrainian government to secure the release of Kenyans currently held in the conflict zone. And finally, in the updates, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has downplayed threats of war issued by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni over access to the port of Mombasa and the Indian Ocean, insisting that Ugandan leader is well aware of international territorial law.
UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday, 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo,
can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's a Friday, and indeed it's one that's lighter with more entertaining content, but one that still keeps you inspired here on UBC TV. And we come to you live from Now Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. And allow me read a comment that came through from Obote Stephen. Good morning to all of you. Happy Friday from Obote Stephen. We are live in Gulu. Thank you so much for watching us live from Gulu. Totally means a lot. We are having a conversation right now on Christian comedy. Did you even know that there's something as such as Christian comedy? Should there be something as such as Christian comedy? Delving into the conversation, 0709-602-592. Now, in studio with me to have this conversation is Teacher Salfa. That's his stage name. But allow me give him the floor for you to get to know him better. Good morning, Teacher Salfa.
Good morning, Julie.
How are you?
I am okay.
All right.
Nice
now, to one meeting you for the very first time, who is Teacher Salfa, and is that your real name? Is that what's your national ID?
No, Teacher Salfa, if you want to send me money, Eretamanya Kayemba Stephen.
All right.
Yeah,
Kayemba Stephen. Now, Kayemba Stephen happens to be a street preacher. He's one who loves telling the word of God, but on the streets. And he's one who still, for some reason, have his comedy in there. And usually many a times it's called the street preacher, sister. So we're going to get to know more about him as we go on in the show. Do you have a question? 0709-602-592. So let's start with comedy in itself and Christian comedy. Why did you choose this path, and why did you focus on Christian comedy? How did it start for you?
Thank you very much, Julie. I am so glad to be here. Now, comedy is, of course, comedy is comedy. And in comedy, we speak a language of funny. If you're funny, you're funny. And now, why
so if
Christian?
You're not funny, you're not funny.
You're not. And so, why Christian comedy? Number one, I've been a Christian for a long time. And so, I've been a humorous person ever since I was born. And, you know, in high school, my friends used to tell me, you know, we used to do those things. You remember those things that we used to do in high school, you know?
Yeah.
And so in the year 2020, of course, before my friends were telling me, why don't you join comedy? Why don't you join comedy? But by then I felt it wasn't the right time because there wasn't any platform for the Christian fraternity. And you know, you have to tread on such spaces carefully as a child of God. And so in 2020, I think it was 2019, December, my friend bumps on a Christian comedy show. It was Christ Fan.
Yes.
Ben MC. And then he was like, guys, I'm taking you out for comedy. There's a Christian comedy show in town. I said, what? So we go. And then when we get here and I see guys cracking jokes in a Christian way, and I'm like, man, I've been doing this.
Biblical comedy.
Yes. And also, you know, as a professional teacher,
yes,
always my chemistry classes were interesting. All my former students will testify. And so I'm like, wow, I can do this. So I asked on how to join. That's how I joined comedy in 2020. Unfortunately or fortunately, no sooner had I joined than no sooner the lockdown came.
Therefore?
So, therefore 21 days.
Yes.
Therefore 21 days. So the difference between Christian comedy and the rest, I would define that in Christian comedy we are about souls, then in the other industry we are about sales. So we do this as a ministry. I believe as teach yourself, I can laugh you into your miracle.
Oh, wow. Interesting. All right, before you laugh me into my miracle, souls and sales, then where's the balance? How do you make the money? Because at the end of the day, for any craft, whilst the souls are important, you also have to have food on your table.
Yeah, now since that I'm married.
Yes.
And by that I've been married for a very long time.
Yes. How long has that been?
Today marks 2,880 hours in marriage.
That sounds like a few months.
Really? But guys, let me tell you, I have written a book on marriage. It is 2 pages so far. But
you know, this gentleman, I've been married longer than he, and he already has a book out. We'll talk about that book later, that imaginary book. But let's, you know, just paint a picture on how you have to balance.
Yeah.
Indeed, now that you're married, when one gets married, it even becomes, especially for a man, it even becomes wild.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, food has to be on the table. You don't survive on your own now at that point in time. So how do you balance souls and at the same time the sales come in, because the money has to, the bills have to be paid?
All right. Number one, there are certain things we do besides comedy, like I'm an events host. I am an MC. I do kuogelera kumikolo gyokwanjula, and also I put up shows, paid shows. Number two, when we go for like ministry in churches, we receive a love offering. And so why we don't front money, because we might lose the idea of ministry. Like Julie, you have organized something at church. It is a free entry stuff, you know, it's ministry. And then you say to yourself, can you please come through? I have my young people here, and then let them be entertained. And so if I say, Julie, if you don't give me 1 million fuel, so which fuel goes for 1 million? So then we can lose it out on, you know, on the goal, like what exactly are you doing? Because we are interested in, like, and most people don't know that, you know, Christ is fun. People don't know that church is fun. People still now believe in, you know, you don't have to laugh. Check when your pastor is preaching. People are laughing, you know, there is humor. You know, when you read a scripture and then the pastor, in the effort of the pastor explaining, the, you know, trying to bring out a revelation, he can put flesh to it and then maybe say, what if Jesus was in Uganda? You understand? Those parables. Maybe Jesus in the parables will say, the kingdom of God is like northern bypass. You understand? The kingdom of God. Yes, you understand? And so, like, you try to create an atmosphere. You try to bring it home. Apart from Capernaum,
Because we were never in Capernaum.
Yes, now Jesus will be, if it were like if now in the Jesus' time, and they say, and now when Jesus went to Nile Avenue.
Now, on that note, I see you already trying to crack us, but let's have a look at some of his work. Take a look at this clip, and you see how Teacher Salva cracks ribs. I can only imagine Jesus in Chikubo, and he's a trader in Chikubo, but he was also savage. If you read the Bible, Jesus was quite savage. Let's just enjoy some of Teacher Salva's clips.
One of the greatest challenges I have ever faced as a street preacher. Guys, I am still single. And my pastor got concerned. He sat with the elders and called me and sat me down and said, Teacher Salva, you're a street preacher? I said, yes, Papa. And you're still single? I said, yes, Papa. My pastor went ahead and calculated. Told me, Teacher Salva, on a daily as you're street preaching, you look at 2,843.368 ladies. Can't you stop one? Ah. There's a guy. Chikola chitia. So you're on the street preaching. Yesu aku. Yesu akulonze. But guys, let me tell you. One day I was street preaching. There came a very beautiful woman. Ah! Guys, let me tell you, most of you, you are sheep. In church, you are sheep. The other one was a German Shepherd. Hey! Very beautiful. I had organized my sermon like the Fanero guys. And my topic was Jesus loves you. Wait, you have never met Fanero guys street preaching. Ah! These guys are street preachers, Pro Max. The rest of us, we are on internship. Well, the first day I met a Fanero guy, he was even a Munyankole, Evangelist Tumushime. Man, these guys are deep. First of all, they preach from KJV. Now for us, we use Luganda version. Yes, man, these guys are deep. Fanero guys, KJV. So the guy, Jesus loveth thee, Selah.
That's Teacher Salva for you, and that was one of his shows from last year, and that was before he got married.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he was relating as to why he was single. Lo and behold, Jesus loveth thee, the man got married this year. First crackers.
I attacked. I married a dental surgeon.
Eh?
Yeah.
A comedian and a dental
street
surgeon.
preacher marrying a dental surgeon. Like my job as a street preacher is to win souls to Christ, win men to Christ, and her job is to detooth men. Yeah, so we are there.
So is she detoothing you? Did she detooth you at the beginning?
A lot of times you are home and say, hey, baby, this. I said, but this I bought. Anyway, my pastor told me in the premarital counseling that I said, my son, there are 3 words you have to go with in marriage. Yes, babe. You are right, honey. I'm sorry, dear. So those words. And he told me marriage is like a workshop where a man works and a woman shops.
Oh.
Yeah, so we are carrying on.
You're working and she's shopping.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So she shall cook. No turning back.
Indeed, she shall cook. Click it. Now, what is your creative process like? How do you come up with these jokes?
Jokes are everywhere. Now, what we normally do, like we have these smartphones. You have this notebook, or what it's called, the notes.
Yes.
Like wherever as long as something can make you funny, you write it down. You write it down. That's an idea.
Wow.
You saw all this?
It's quite
all this.
a
so now after
script.
some time, we meet as comedians and then add flesh to the jokes. Like before, this is an idea, then we create the material. So, and we also have a comedy club, the only comedy club in Uganda. It's called the Laughing Marabou Stock. You can check it out on the website. And so in the in the Laughing Marabou Stock, we meet as comedians, and then, you know, we punch.
Yeah.
We do rehearsals. Most people think, but me, you're a comedian. You do rehearsals for what? Me, I think you just get the microphone, go and start speaking out of the blue. No. All this week, I've been locked up. Hey, I have to, you know, you have to chew card.
One of the things I love about the Laughing Marabou Stock is it has clean comedians.
Exactly.
Yes, it has clean comedians. And most of them, their content, of course, stand-up, but very, very, very clean
Super
and
amazing.
related and relatable at that. All right, good morning, Uganda. I'm Kenneth Kwehangana, a student at MUBS Mbarara, watching you live from Mbarara. Thank you very much, Kenneth, for being on the show. So let's also get into the bit of you being a comedian. Is there a point where someone has not taken you serious? Even one would wonder, how did your wife take you serious in the first place? But as women, we love humorous men, so perhaps you made her laugh.
On the contrary, my wife loved me as a comedian friend. But she had never dreamt of marrying a comedian.
Friend zone.
Yes. Oh my God, herself. And she used to buy tickets, like VIP, like 4. And she supports. But so when I attacked, she said, of course, a lot of people have not taken us for serious, and you know, like life moves on. But I've come to realize, not all ladies love humorous people, especially when it comes to marriage. And she's like, how will they know that my is a you know? But the most important thing why my wife accepted my proposal was because of the ministry. She saw the resilience. She saw like what you know, I'm an evangelist, and so I have a school of evangelism. And so she weighed all the things and was like, man, I'm going with this evangelist.
He will lead me to Christ.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I ushered her in the presence of God.
Right.
It is not easy. My wife is a pastor and I'm a sheep. So you know that combination is not very easy. So you guys keep praying for us.
She's the pastor at your church?
Yeah,
and you were
where she was.
Okay, where she was, and you were a sheep.
Yeah, me at our church, I'm a sheep. Not just anyone say I'm a Christian, but are you a redeemed soul?